Here we go. Problem 4-46, the last problem of the homework assignment. Hallelujah. Let's get it done. Solve the system of equations at right. We have 2 to the power of x plus y equals 16, and 2 to the power of 2x plus y equals 1/8. So real quick before we start getting into the system here and trying to figure out what x and y are, let's think about some of the values that we have here. 16 and 1/8 do have a relationship with 2. Okay, so let's think about our values of 2 as we raise it to different powers. So I'm going to make a little table over here. You don't have to do this, but if you listen along, it may help. So I'm going to take it and say, let's say 2 to the 5th, 2 to the 4th, 2 to the 3rd, 2 to the 2nd, 2 to the 1st, 2 to the power 0, 2 to the negative 1st, 2 to the negative 2nd, 2 to the negative 3rd, and so on and so on and so on. So, as we look here, we know the value of 2 to the first power is 2. And if we take that value and we multiply it by 2, or it's like raising it to the second power, we get 4. So 2 squared times another 2, or it'd be like saying 2 to the third power, is going to give us 8. And if you take 2 to the third and you multiply it by 2, or you raise it to another power, you're going to get 2 to the fourth, which is 16. So as we go up here, we're just basically multiplying each of these by another 2, or 2 is the factor one additional time, which increases our values. The same thing here, or another pattern that you can see is you go downward. Every time we decrease our power, it's like we're dividing it by 2. Decrease our power, we're dividing it by 2. Decrease our power, we're dividing it by 2. So when we decrease our power from 2 to the first to 2 to the 0, we have to take what we have and divide it by 2. We get 2 divided by 2 would be 1. As we decrease our power again, doesn't matter what the actual value of the exponent is. We just know that when we decrease the power, we divide it by 2. So if we have 1 here, when it's 2 to 0, we decrease our power, we get 1 divided by 2, which is 1/2. Half is half of 1. If you decrease your power again, 2 to the negative second power there, well, we're going to take 1/2 and take half of it. That should end up being half of a half is a fourth. Half of a fourth is an eighth. And half of an eighth is a 16th, because we're just dividing it by 2, or multiplying it by 2 as we go up. So the reason we did that there is because I want you to see here, there's a couple important values that you need to look at. We have 2 to the negative third power is equal to 1/8. And we have 2 to the fourth power is actually equal to 16. So as we look at our system that we're trying to solve, I have 2 to the power of x plus y equals 16. Well, if I know that 16 is really the same thing as 2 to the fourth, I can rewrite this so that it has 2 expressions with the same base. So 2 to the power of x plus y should equal 2 to the fourth power. Same thing here on the second one. We have 2 to the power of 2x plus y. I'm going to rewrite that one there. I'm sorry, that's 2x plus y. And we say that's the same thing as 1/8. Well, we know 1/8 is the same thing as 2 to the negative third power. So let's substitute 2 to the negative third in. So if you take a good look at that there, we know the base is 2. So what we can do here, since we have the same exact base here, we can think about x plus y has to equal 4 in order for this equation to be true. And on the second one here, our x plus y has to somehow end up equaling -3 for this equation to be true. So what we've ended up with here is we can say x plus y equals 4 and 2x plus y equals -3. So we don't have to even worry about the bases anymore. We're just dealing with what was the exponents. That has become our equation. And now we can look to solve it using whatever method you prefer. If it's me, I'm a big fan of the elimination. Let's eliminate something here. So I'm going to choose to eliminate my y's. That's going to be the easiest one to create additive inverses. So I'm going to multiply everything in my top equation by -1. So I now have a -x minus a y equals -1 times 4 would be -4. So we're looking at this system here. I'm going to take it, remember, I'm adding these together. 2x plus -x gives me x. Positive y plus negative y, that's what's eliminating. And -3 plus -4 is -7. So we're going to say x equals -7. Now I'm just going to use these equations here to come up with my value of y. You don't have to necessarily go all the way back up to the original equation, but you'll want to check it with those. So let's use our equation that we had, x plus y equals 4. Let's plug in that -7 plus y now equals 4. Add our 7 to each side there. So y has to equal 11. That's a y, not an ugly x. So we're going to get our solution to our system would be -7, 11. To check it, you can take it and plug it in over here. Let's see here. We have 2 to the -7 plus 11, which is going to be 2 to the 4th, and we already know that 2 to the 4th equals 16. We did that over here at the start. And if we do 2 to the 2 times -7 plus 11, that should equal, well, 2 times -7 is -14, plus 11 would be 2 to the -3rd, which we already know equals 1/8. So we know that these are correct. So final solution for 4-46 is -7, 11. Finally, we are done. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and you have a great night. Go Buckeyes!